Well, hello traders. Welcome again to another video. My name is Rocky Calvin, and if you enjoy the content that I've been producing in this channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, share, and I want us to talk about surviving the highs and lows of the market. The notes I'm deleting right now are from previous video about the things that nobody tells you about trading, the price you have to pay for trading. Make sure you go check that video out so that it can prepare you, emotionally, financially, and even psychologically on the things you're to expect in trading that nobody talks about, so that you don't give up earlier before your time of success comes in. Leaving that behind, on the same previous video, I talked about having some shorts here on Nasdaq, and this candle had not yet closed in, and it closed back in below the consequent encroachment of that bearish hourly fair value gap. So that's a good price action. So this is how you should read price. But in case anything happens that I see, for example, this candle that this hourly candle that is currently forming right now, if it displaces its body above this bearish fair value gap, I'm gonna be having to cancel all the orders, or maybe let me say delete any position that is running, because that will simply means that price will be interested into something higher up there or even higher. So I'm going to be watching it. If in case this candle closes above that higher level of the fair value gap, that will be a sign that it is interested in going higher, and I'm doing shorts here. So otherwise, there's no big deal about it, because according to price action and also time, and these two candles have already shown good sign of rejection. So I'm waiting to see how probabilities plays out. It's all about probabilities. There's nothing about it must win, it gotta win. No, we have to embrace the uncertainty in this market. So in this video, I want us to talk about surviving the highs and lows of the market, and this is not just about strategy. This is about emotional stamina, mental toughness, and long-term thinking. And when we talk about emotional roller coaster, trading is never a straight line. A straight line whereby everything just goes high and high and high. Like everything moves towards success and everything is working out well. Trading is contrary to that. It's never a straight line. It's chaotic, right? It's very, very chaotic, and sometimes you're gonna be having emotions of anger and so on. Other times you're on top of the world, when every entry is hitting your take profit, when confidence is high, you just feel untouchable. But then the market turns again, then losses pile up, then you start having doubt in yourself, and start questioning your strategy and even yourself. And the lesson you're supposed to be having here is that the market rewards discipline, not emotions. So the moment those emotions kick in, no matter what you do, those emotions will never win. Actually, emotions is part of the problem why humanity is struggling or suffering. Is because of emotions, and the emotional aspect that we have. But at the end of the day, we have emotions because we are human beings. We are not robots. So we feel, and that's what makes life beautiful, or that's what makes us special. Those emotions, and at the same time, those emotions are the things that betrays us from becoming the people we are supposed to be. So just ensure that you have your emotions in control, and let the market reward you for your discipline. So second thing I'm going to be talking about is marrying the highs. That's something you should never do. Never ever marry the highs. Marrying the highs simply means that you are married, or you are so engaged, or you are so hooked to the highs, like winning and profitability and the good side of it. For example, just everything working out perfectly. Be ready for the situation, because life is about ups and downs. We go high, we go down. Some days you're gonna be happy, some days you're gonna be sad, some days you're gonna be moody, some days it's part of life, and that's the same thing with trading. So if you choose to stick with the highs only, meaning that when the lows comes in, you're gonna break down, and when you break down, that will likely entirely disrupt the the kind of development or the kind of improvement that you already had. So winning streaks can be very, very dangerous because euphoria often leads to overconfidence, and that overconfidence will now start leading to over leveraging. So, for example, if I've won a couple of trades using this strategy of reading price and so on, and right now I've seen maybe this third candle also closing back in, and now I start over leveraging and saying like this now this cannot lose. Let me go in all hard. And you see, that's a very wrong approach to this market. And that is now when overconfidence kicks in, because you have euphoria, you've been winning. So don't marry the highs. And also, overconfidence and euphoria will most of the time lead you to abandoning your plan and thinking that you already figured it out. Guys, I'm talking about things that I've gone through. These are things I've lost account, I've blown funded accounts, I've passed challenges, I've had payouts, I've done all this. And me speaking about this is so that maybe I can help a trader out there who is still having these issues, and maybe have the solutions to them, so that I can put this information out there. So whoever finds them, it'd be able to help them. So a survival tip I can give about when you're winning, or when you're in the highs, or when things are working out well in your trading. So when you're winning is when you need to respect the game more. Just your level of discipline is supposed to be higher. You need to stay grounded, but you can log your wins, for example, journal them, but don't fall in love with them. Anytime you're winning, that is the moment you need to be very, very, very careful, because that is when euphoria kicks in and we often forget ourselves. So, number two, remember, I'm talking about how to survive the highs and lows of the market. I've talked about the highs, and I've told you guys, don't marry the highs. Be a person, whenever you're winning, is when you become more careful in the markets. So, number three, let's talk about the fear of the loss, or fear of losing, or fear of being wrong. Now, losses are a part of the business, and that's it. Even top traders have losing months, losing weeks, and losing days. Everybody loses in this game. There's nobody always win. Even me, I lose sometimes, and it's part of the game. What matters is profitability. So the difference about top traders is that they know losing is not the same as failing. They manage risk, they analyze mistake, and stay in the game. So whenever you're losing, that's not a failure. You just lost a trade. There's thousands and thousands of trades waiting for you paid, and sorry, there's a lot of gold. Let me cancel it. Sometimes I use alerts, and actually, I'm the type of guy who always preach what I mean, practice what I preach. I taught you guys about how to create alerts, and I use them. This was evident. You guys saw exactly. I have an alert of on gold, but I'm not going to go into that trade because I'm in the middle of something right now with you guys. So ensure that you follow creating alerts. Have a video on this channel on how to create alerts on TradingView. Check it out. That will also help you. So let's get back to it on the fear of the loss. So top traders know that losing is not failing. So whenever you lose a trade, two trades, three trades, that's not failing. That's just part of the game. So survival tip that I'm gonna give for when you're in the loss is use drawdowns to reflect and not to react. Just use them to reflect on the issues, on the possibility of how you can be able to do better. And also never revenge trade. Never do that. I've done that sometimes. My personality, me first of all, I'm that type of guy who don't like losing. I really, really, really hate losing. Like when it comes to losing, like generally in everything I usually do. So that has been just my habit. I think I was raised in that manner. So I often like putting up a fight and fighting until I win, and trading really proved, trading showed me a different version of myself that I need to embrace. That revenge is not a thing to even think about. So the last survival tip I'm going to be giving out is, protect your capital. Like, your life depends on it, because your trading careers does depend on it. So if you don't protect your capital, you just, risk over leverage and so on. Sooner or later, that account is going to be gone. Now, back to the surviving highs and lows of the market. Let's talk about the fourth point that I want to discuss with you guys is stay data driven. Now, when emotions run high, go back to your numbers. Your edge is found in your data, not in your feelings. Just go back to your data, journal, read your journal, and log trades, review performance metrics, regularly. See what's working better, see what's not working, how you can be able to maybe change a couple of things. So the data will give you the power to correct your course, not luck, not gut feelings, not hope. Just work with the data. That's why I talk about journaling. And also in this channel, I've also showed you guys how to create a trading journal, the important things that you need for you to have a good trading journal. So it's upon you to go and check that video. And apart from that, psychology. These everybody talks about psychology, master your psychology, and so on. Well, I don't really like talking about psychology, but I'm gonna address it in this. There's a video I did here about actually it is titled how to no, the video is titled "This video will make you profitable," and majority of people think that maybe it's a clickbait, but in real sense, the things that I talk about in that video, it's about mastering the subconscious mind, reprogramming it with the new ideas, and lying to it, because you see, the subconscious mind doesn't know the truth and the lie. Like, it doesn't really know what's really going on. So it's upon you to lie to it and put in there good memory, so that you can be able to visualize you winning, visualize you becoming a better trader. I did that video. You guys can go check it out later. So when you talk about psychology, you don't need to predict the market. You just need to control yourself, because the answer is within you. It's not within the markets. So the most dangerous trader isn't the one with bad strategies. The one who loses emotional control. Those are the bad traders. So you need to build your mental edge through mindfulness and meditation. I talk about meditation also. You need to have affirmations. You can have some affirmations and maybe meditation that will help your mental being. And you need to have proper sleep and nutrition. They all play a part, because if you don't sleep properly, trading is all about the mind needs to be fresh. The mind need to think like a trader. So you need to have proper sleep, you need to eat well, and you need to have a daily routine that calms your mind before you trade. That's why I talk about affirmations. Now, apart from that, uh, let's talk about playing the long game. Now, this is not a sprint. I think by now you've heard a lot of people talking about trading. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's something of the long run. It's not something that you just run once and you finish line. Okay, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. I think you've heard this say for the longest time. So what this simply means that some days your job is just to survive, other days is to thrive, but every day your job is to stay in the game. That is your sole purpose in playing the long game. So you also have to remember that you don't have to trade every day, you don't have to win every day, but you do have to show up consistently and think like a professional trader. That is what's gonna build those good habits, and as well as reprogram your subconscious mind with those good habits. So you have to show up. It's not about uh, you trade when you feel like. When you don't feel like, you go away. You only listen, or you only learn new strategies, or how to trade, new concept when you feel like. But when you don't feel like, that's not how it works. For you to become successful in this thing, you have to be present. You have to be consistently learning and improving yourself. So finally, to survive the highs and lows of the markets, you need to stay humble in the highs, and you need to stay very composed when in the lows, and stay disciplined always. Now, if you do that, you will be already ahead of the 90% of traders. That being said, traders, get back to your charts, not just to trade, but to learn, grow, and become the trader you are meant to be. My name is Rocky Calvin. I hope this was a good presentation to you guys, and I hope you guys will be able to, like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the future to more content coming up. So cheers.